I'm meeting up with another cheese fanatic, Sheree Sullivan.
Hi Sheree, lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Sheree's been making handcrafted cheeses in her family-owned factory for years.
Sheree, tell me about the cheese making process.
Sure. So cheese making needs really good milk, and so we get our milk from surrounding areas in the Adelaide Hills, and the most simplistic thing we're doing is taking the moisture out of the milk. We do it in all different methods, and in the end we end up with the curds, which are really what is sitting behind us here, the solid mass of the milk. So do you want to come and see some of the processes? Let's get our hands dirty,
yeah,
and then later today let's eat some cheese.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, can I come to a cheese factory, not try cheese?
Today, Sheree's showing me the process to make one of her favourite cheeses, brie. Milk was delivered from the local farms into 25,000 litre vats, where it's pasteurised and pumped into custom-sized tanks.
This milk will now get its cultures added, and its rennet added.
Okay, so this is the very beginning of the process.
Beginning.
The natural enzymes in rennet cause the milk to curdle and form solids called curds, which expel the moisture called whey.
This is called cutting the curd. Okay. So the milk has set, it's set with its rennet, it's set with its cultures, and it's a solid mass. And to get the moisture out, we now need to form cubes. And that's what all these wires are doing.
Right. Prior to him cutting,
yes,
you would never have thought
that it was set.
No.
Yeah, you would have thought it was liquid milk.
It just looked like a tub of milk.
Yes. The cut size determines how much moisture will come out.
Okay.
So the cut size is a control factor for cheese variety and cheese type.
Okay, so tell me, the smaller the cut,
the drier the cheese.
Okay.
The brie curds are agitated to remove more moisture before being poured into round moulds, which will shape the curds into the familiar wheel we know when we buy brie.
So these will just settle, and eventually all these curds will fit in all the hoops, in all the shapes.
Which is what I was going to ask, because when they're swiping it, it looks like there's a lot of excess. But I can see they're now sorting it in.
And even in 10 minutes, it would have dropped enough that even more will fit in.
Right.
The brie curds are left to drain and are turned to remove more moisture. They're then demoulded and soaked in salt water.
From here, they're going to go into the ripening room where they grow their white mould. You can see that we've got all sorts of cheeses in here.
Yeah.
And they start from almost a feta-looking style of cheese.
Yeah.
And then over on this side, you can see they're downy, and I often call them like a bunny rabbit that we could, you know, pat, because they're furry.
They look fluffy.
Yeah.
This is where these fluffy brie bunnies perform their magic trick. As the mould grows all over the cheese, it's also hard at work inside.
The white mould breaks down the butterfat and the milk protein, and that turns it from chalky acidity to gooey paste with all that beautiful earthy flavour that we know that brie and camembert has.
So it's really interesting, because when you talk about the mould, I was just picturing the outside.
Yes.
But what you just described is the outside actually has an impact on how the cheese is on the inside.
All
as
about
well.
function. So if you don't have mould, you don't have brie or camembert.
The brie will continue to ripen for around 3 weeks before it's ready to eat. And I can't wait to dig in.
So this is the beautiful heritage brie. We saw these in our ripening room today. Big fat flavour.
This tastes so creamy. Delicious.